everyone, hope that you're all doing okay. Welcome to today's class, and it's the longer class today. We're going to focus on some really nice poses that are going to open up into the chest, open up your shoulders, stretch into the back of the body, and also give a lovely release on the neck. So these are really good poses. So if you find that you've been working a lot lately on the computer or sitting, then you might find that your posture is affected as you kind of do a bit more of a closing down. Even when we're on a phone a lot, we're kind of like looking down, closing down, our chins in. So we're going to do everything today that's going to open up and create some really nice space. It's good as well. So you might find that, you know, when you do this position a lot or rounding over, getting stressed, you might get headaches, you might find it affects your back. Everything's connected, so then it might start to go into different bits of the body. So the yoga poses can help to support the whole body, really. So for today's practice, if you have got a belt or something that resembles a belt, we're going to need that for the practice today. If you can get yourself a blanket as well, we're going to need that, all the props today. And also, if you can have a couple of bricks, or if you haven't got bricks, just a couple of maybe books that are the same kind of size, or something just hard that resembles it, we can make do, that's fine. And then we'll start off lying down. I'll show you what we're going to do first of all. So we're going to do a little bit of stuff on the blanket, so you can move whatever you don't need out of the way. And then we're going to have our blanket. So our blanket here, what we can do is take a bit of a fold. You might have to explore to see what's going to work for the back, but we're just going to do something to support when we lie down on the floor to open up the chest. So I'm going to do it this way, just a little bit. It hasn't got to be too high. You might roll it this way or just see what is going to be good. A little bit exploring works out nice. That's it. And then you're going to bring yourself lying down. And then what you want to do is, this is going to be to go onto your upper back. So you're going to make sure that your arms are okay, so that your backs, the shoulders and the shoulder blades can come back down onto the floor. And the arms are going to be open out like this. And you might be reaching them out into a T shape, or you might be cactusing the arms. Be careful of the head. If you find the head rolls back, you might want to lift it up slightly. Just support it a bit so the neck feels nice and long. If you need a little cushion or blanket for your head as well, absolutely fine. And then you might start off just with the legs bent first of all. You can let the eyes close. And if it's uncomfortable at any point, just remove it and you can just lie down on the floor, do the same thing. Take a few moments just settling into the mat this morning and just bringing some focus into the body without judging it. You might notice how you're feeling today. You might already just be bringing a lot of focus to the chest. So for me, when I put the blanket here, my attention is really brought into this lovely lift. It's surprising just what a blanket can do, how it can allow the chest just to get a really nice opening and a stretch. Just notice if you feel any tightness at all, anywhere in the chest. And you might just see if you can just focus on your breath while you're here. So you can either keep your legs bent, or you can lengthen the legs, or if the hips feel okay, you can even bring maybe the soles of the feet might like to come together for a hip opener for our Baddha Konasana pose. We're going to stay here a couple of minutes focusing on the breath. So get yourself nice and comfortable. Just pay particular attention to the head. Make sure it feels nice and supported. Then we're going to tune into the breath. Just let it be for a few moments, just following that breath. And then when it feels okay, you can begin your yoga breathing. So breathing in nice and slowly, in through the nose. And a nice slow exhale out. Breathing in through the nose. And a nice slow exhale back out through the nose. You're going to do this just a few more times, focusing on the breath. As you breathe in now, you might let your attention, your focus come to that chest and the heart area. Feel that you're creating space with your breath. And as you exhale, feel that area just softening. So releasing any tension in the chest and the heart area. Breathing in, focus on creating space, opening up into the chest. And as you breathe out, feel any tension, any tightness in the chest softening and releasing. So giving the mind something to focus on from here. And using the breath to direct some awareness, encouraging any tension just to release from here. We're going to spend just a little bit more longer here, so just focusing on that breath. Feeling how nice it feels just to give the opportunity to lift and open up into the chest, feel expansive. And it's got a very good feeling when we open up in the chest as well. It's very boosting for our confidence, making us feel good. So just enjoy those moments of just simply being open. And you can make this your last one. And then as you next exhale, just taking your time slowly. If your feet were in Baddha Konasana pose, just bring your soles of the feet back to the floor. And you're going to remove your belt from here. It's not belt, your blanket. So you might just maybe just roll on to one side. Just carefully move your blanket away. Lie yourself back again, down onto the floor. Legs can be bent this time. Arms down by the sides of the body, and just pause for a moment. Just let the upper back and what was supported on the blanket, let it just release and soften into the floor from here. And then let your legs bend, hug your knees in towards the chest, and just take a bit of a rock from side to side. And then let yourself settle back to the centre, drawing the knees gently towards you. You can either have your knees and feet together, or some of us might like to find it creates more space to do them apart. If you are okay in your neck and your shoulders to lift today, we'll take a breath in. And as you breathe out, draw the navel in as you guide the head up towards the knee, knees in towards you. And then nice and slowly inhale to come back. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathing out, navel draws in, lifting up the head towards the knees. And then nice and slowly guiding back. We'll do it 1 more time, lifting up from here. And then slowly lower back down to the floor. Going to bring your feet down, arms down by the sides of the body. And we'll take our rounds of bridge. So walking your feet in as close as works. Arms down by the sides of the body, rooting down with the feet. Take a breath in and we'll use that to lift up. Just a little way first of all. And then breathing out, slowly lower down. As you breathe in, we'll lift up, maybe a tiny bit higher this time. And then breathing out, slowly lower all the way back down. And last one, as you breathe in, you might lift a little bit higher or stay the same. We're going to stay here for a few moments of breathing from here. And you've got the opportunity to just keep the arms down by the sides of the body or moving up higher onto the shoulders. You might like to take that rolling up, lifting up higher. Fingers can either reach down towards the feet or you can interlock the fingers. You might press more into the feet. Lovely opener for your chest and the front of the body, but also it's wonderful for your hips and the front of the hips. Feel them stretching as you lift up. And then slowly release the arms, moving back onto the shoulders if you lifted, tilting the pelvis forward now, very nice and slowly if you can. Often people are in a rush to do that, but try and do it slow so you feel each bit of your back, from the upper back coming down, your mid back coming down, right until your lower back. And keep following it, that very last bit, bringing some slowness and focus into these moves. Hug your knees in. You might take your hands on the knees, just draw some circles with your knees, moving them in one direction and then moving them in the other direction from here. Hug the knees in towards the chest with just a little bit of work onto our neck from here. So you're going to breathe in. Make sure you haven't got anything behind your head. Make sure that you haven't got any clips or hairbands so we can just release the neck. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, drop your head towards the right side. And breathing in, coming back to the centre. Breathing out, turning your head towards the left side. And breathing in, coming back. Do that a few more rounds. Breathing out, turning your head towards the right side. Inhale, coming back. So you breathe out, head towards the left side. Inhale, coming back. Last one. Breathing out, head towards the right. Breathing in, back to the centre. Last one, head towards that left side. And then coming back. We'll take one twist on the floor. So reaching the arms out, your preferred choice, cactus, or reach them fully out from the shoulder. Either keep the knees in or you can bring the feet to the floor if you need to. Drop your knees over towards the right side and then allowing your head to turn towards that left side. If you want to enhance the stretch more, pick up your right hand, holding it onto the outside of that left leg and maybe stretching your left arm away from you, maybe taking it a little bit wider so you get a really nice stretch around the upper back from here as well. And as you breathe, focus on really taking that breath, especially into that left side of the body, feeling it opening a little bit more. Keeping your visualisation on the breath and the body. And if you lifted the arm, moving it back down, arms out. You can bring your knees in if you need to adjust. You can take the feet to the floor, adjust the spine. Maybe shifting hips to the right side, either lifting the knees or keeping the feet down to the floor. We'll go the same side, other side, same posture to the left side. You might take the left hand to the outside of that right knee. You can either reach that right arm out to the side or cactus the arm, or even taking that arm behind you, maybe in a little bit of a diagonal stretch from here. And turn the head or keep it to the centre. And this time start to feel the right side of the body opening up. Taking some nice good breaths so we feel the chest that is opening more, especially on that right side. And just breathe into anywhere that feels maybe a little bit tight or anywhere that you know that you store tension. Just use your focus and breathe into that place. And then slowly release the arms, let your knees come in. Maybe just adjusting the feet again, hug the knees in from here. Gently rocking from side to side. And then when you're ready, roll over onto the right side of the body. Use your hand to bring you all the way back up from here. And just take a nice seated position from here. And let yourself have your belt so it's handy from here. You're going to just sit up nice and tall from here. You're going to take the arms down by the sides of the body. And as you breathe in, take a breath in. As you bring the palms together, maybe gazing up if that works for your head. And as you breathe out, hands down towards the chest, maybe just bowing the head slightly from here. Do two more. Inhale, using the head to lift up. So we're working our neck and our head as well. Breathing out, hands towards the chest as we gently bow and lower the head. Last one. Inhale to lift up from here. And breathing out, hands towards the chest and slightly bow the head from here. And then start to slowly release the arms. And just do a few shoulder rolls first of all, just to loosen up your shoulders. That's it, and then rolling them the other way. So get a really nice release into the shoulders. You're going to take your hands out in front, and let me just move back so I've got a bit of room. And keep your sit bones connected to the earth. Slowly walking your hands forward. And you can either stay lifted. Actually, we'll all do it for a few bits. Keep your, maybe up on the fingers, lifting the chest so you get a really nice lift and you start to get a nice stretch into your upper back. And if it feels good, maybe take it lower down. You can come more onto the forearms if that works. Keep breathing. Maybe focus on your upper back again here while you're here. And then lifting your head. You can start to take just a walk over towards that. We'll do the left side. And you can stay lifted again for a few breaths from here. Think about your chest and your heart opening. Send some focus here. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, if it works, you can lower down from here. Maybe just let the head really relax from here. So nice stretch into your upper back you might find from here. Lift your head as you breathe in, walking back to the centre. Take an exhale here. And then breathing in, we'll start to walk to the other side. We'll stay lifted again for a few breaths, thinking about lifting your chest and the heart forward. Nice focused approach with your gaze of the eyes. And then breathing out, lower down. You can let your head release down. You might stay lifted as well, that's fine. We find whatever works for the body and we go with that. Nice and slowly lifting up, walking your hands back from here. Then we're going to grab your belt from here, or anything we'll do with a belt, actual belt on trousers or a dressing gown belt. All good, it's all okay, it hasn't got to be a yoga belt. So you're going to have a bit of the belt in each hand, and you're going to take your hands, so what you want them is a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And you can judge it if you need to take it a little bit wider as well, that's absolutely fine. You're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're going to lift your arms from here. And any time if you need to release, if you don't want to hold it as long as some of the poses, absolutely fine. And take a few moments to thinking about just lifting the chest and feel how nice it feels to open up. And feel how this is a wonderful canter pose. As if you were sitting on working at a computer, this is going to be a nice canter pose to that. We're going to take a side bend stretch. So you're going to just move onto that right side from here. You haven't got to go too far. Try and draw the navel in a bit as well, so you help to support the back in this pose as you do this. And then inhaling, coming back to the centre. As you breathe out, we'll go over towards that left side from here. And just do whatever works for the head. Make sure the head is okay. and then lifting up. This time we'll take a twist. So breathe in as you breathe out, draw the navel in, and we'll take a twist towards the right side. You might find that you don't go too far, and that's fine. And once you find what works for the back and the upper back and even the lower back, just breathe from here. And take a nice breath to come back to the centre. Last one to the twist to the left. Navel draws in so we can support the back. Just keep a nice focused approach with the eyes. And then slowly lower down and then release the arms and the belt all the way down. Just put it to the side. We'll need it later, so don't worry about rolling it up. A few shoulder rolls from here and shoulder rolls forward. A nice one as well to get into the shoulders is take your fingertips onto the shoulders, lifting up tall. You can bring the elbows, start to bring them together, lifting them and opening them up. And then again, elbows together, lifting and opening them up. Just do one more that side. Elbows together, lifting and opening up. That's it. And the other way this time, so you can bring the elbows up and together and down and opening up. And then bringing the elbows together and down and opening up. One more. Bringing your elbows together, down and opening up. That's it, really nice. And then taking your hands, just a little bit of work for our neck. So interlocking your fingers. Like I said, all that work you sometimes do on the computer and the phone, that we start to lose some support into our neck. So this is just going to, a little bit of strengthening. So what you want to do is, if it works, you can just open the elbows slightly. And what you're working towards is thinking about strengthening up the neck. So you're just gently pressing your head in towards the hands. And you might take some awareness into the neck and feel as if you're just strengthening up the neck from here. Strengthening the neck muscles often get a little bit forgotten. So think about how heavy the head is. And when you're doing stuff like leaning forward, texting or on the computer, we start to lose that support into the neck. So this is a good one to help to work. Allow yourself to bring the elbows, maybe draw them together and just taking a nice round over from here. Use that breath to inhale, lifting up, opening up your elbows again. Breathing out, elbows draw in as we draw the navel in, as we round over, get a nice stretch into the upper back. And then inhale, lifting, opening up. Do one more, breathing out, rounding over. Last one, inhale, maybe using your eyes or just attention as you look up from here. And then coming back to the centre. Just taking a moment to sit up nice and tall. Last bit, seated. So dropping your right ear down towards your right shoulder. You can just keep the hands where they are. If it feels nice, you might tuck your chin in slightly so we get a different stretch of the neck from here. You can take your right hand, support under the head, and just gently easing that head back to centre. Pause for a couple of breaths. And then as you exhale, left ear down towards left shoulder. Just take a moment to let that side of the neck, the right side, just gently stretch out. Either keep it there or tuck your chin in slightly more. It will change what you're feeling in the neck. So just see if it works. And then back to the ear, again to the shoulder. You can use your left hand and just gently ease your head back from here. And then you can release the legs, give them just a bit of a release from here. And then coming on to an all fours. So just move what you don't need out of the way for a moment. You can pad your knees, spreading the hands, knees underneath your hips. We'll take a few of our cat stretches. So you're going to inhale, lifting your tailbone, lifting the front of the body, lifting the head, gazing up. As you breathe out, rounding over, drawing into the navel, gaze back through the legs. You're going to inhale, coming through again for a second round. Try to keep your eyes open if you can for these ones. As you breathe out, rounding over, gazing between the legs, we're starting to just stretch the muscles of the eyes by a gaze. Inhale, lifting, using your gaze to look up between the eyebrows. And then exhale, last one, rounding over, let the gaze just look through the legs, focusing on the still point. And then coming back to the centre. You're going to take a child's pose, and there's a little bit of variation you can do for the arms, which is really nice. So it works with a couple of bricks, or if you've got anything like the books or anything, you might need to cover them if they're too hard, otherwise they might hurt your arms. And if you don't want to use the bricks, that's fine, you can do your usual child's. You're going to be sitting back onto the heels, and then rather than our arms just going onto the floor, you have to judge them as well, you have to move them in a little bit closer. The arms are going to come forward, and then what you're going to do is you're going to bend the arms, so the arms start to bend, fingertips ease back. This might be enough just here. Head is going to be on the floor as well, so make sure that head is supported. Or you can bring your palms together and then let your palms start to move, so the fingertips start to reach back towards the upper back. And then you can wiggle about on your elbows so you can get a really nice stretch from here. And what it feels like for me is that I get a really nice stretch and a release across the chest first. It feels like I open up into my shoulders. You can feel that bit in between your shoulder blades and the upper back, getting a really nice stretch. So take a few breaths from here. And if it doesn't work, just find something that does work. You can explore. That's what yoga's all about as well, exploring the body, exploring the poses. And then slowly release. You can take the hands back, so you can use your hands to lift back up from here. And coming all the way up. And while we've got the bricks out, we'll do another one. We'll do our puppy pose and the same option. So using the bricks, but they're going to have to be further forward. Pad your knees if you need that extra padding when you come into it. If you don't want to use the blocks, then we find out just our regular one. We'll be stretching the upper back, so no problem at all. Now you're going to allow yourself to, it's the one where your thighs stay upright. Make sure your knees are hip distance apart, so make sure they're not together. So you're going to allow yourself to release down. And that same thing again, so you might need to wiggle the blocks in until you find that works. And then the same thing, you might just have your fingertips touching your shoulder blades. Make sure the head's down, support it if you need to with something. Or allowing yourself to bring the palms together, taking our fingertips back. Just a few really nice breaths. Keep breathing from here, nice long, slow breaths. If you're okay, just going to stay here another 2-3 breaths. Focus on maybe your chest, getting a nice opening from here. Creating space in your mid-back, your thoracic spine. And then slowly release. Let your hands support you to come all the way up. And then you can just move your blocks for a moment out of the way from here. Let your hands sit up, ready for your downward dog. So spreading the hands, tucking your toes under, lifting up into your downward dog. A nice stretch from here. Gently walking out through your heels. Just get some nice release into your backs of the legs. Settle into your downward dog pose. And today, let yourself bend into your legs for your downward dog. So we're focusing on taking that really nice stretch into the back now. So you can explore how much you want to bend them until you find that you are opening up around those muscles around the back. The chest feels nice and open from here. Just a couple of breaths. And then bringing your knees back to the floor, release the feet. You can slide the hands forward of the shoulders and take yourself all the way down to the floor, lowering all the way down. Feet a little way apart, hands set up either underneath the shoulders or into your Sphinx pose. As you breathe in, we're lifting up. Take a few breaths. If you've come into your Cobra pose, let yourself point your elbows back. So we're not coming back too far. We're thinking about opening up into your shoulders from here. And then slowly lower back down. Lifting up again. So if you're in your Sphinx as well, you're going to keep the arms down, shoulders, maybe just moving away from your ears. And then slowly lower back down. We'll do last one. Lifting up. If you're in your baby cobra, you can take that time to maybe lift up more, but think about shoulders today. So move them away from the ears. I like to soften my arms quite a bit in this pose so that I can allow my chest to send through. A couple of breaths. And then slowly lower down. Reposition your hands so they're back underneath your shoulders. Pressing yourself back to your all fours. Tuck the toes, lift up again into your downward dog. Head nice and heavy from here. And then bend your legs, take your walk, walking your feet towards your hands. Take your hands onto your hips and lifting up. And we'll come all the way up to standing. And you can stand to your mat for a moment. A couple of shoulder rolls. Arms down by the sides of the body, mountain pose. Just spending a few moments appreciating how open this can make us feel. Rooting down with the feet gently, connecting to the earth. Bring some attention into your chest and the heart. Feel the crown of the head just extending up towards the sky, so you're creating this really nice energy as you just stand into Tadasana. You can take the arms and lift them up, palms together, palms facing each other rather, shoulders moving back and down. And then slowly bring the arms out to the side. Make sure feet are hip distance apart. Hands on your hip creases, and we're going to fold forward from here. You're going to take your hands onto the shins, and as we inhale, lifting up halfway, chest moves forward, shoulders move back. And as you breathe out, soften, let the crown of the head be nice and heavy. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, really slow breaths, lifting up halfway, gazing up between the eyebrows. And then exhale, folding forward again, crown of the head nice and heavy. We'll do one more. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And then exhale, folding forward from here, head nice and heavy. Just take a couple of moments, moving your head gently from side to side. And then gently nodding your head as if you was letting go of any tension, any tightness that you may have accumulated over the week or so in the neck and the head and the shoulders. Then the hands move back to the hips. Let yourself lift all the way up, and we'll come all the way up to standing. And take your feet just a little way apart, facing forward. I'm going to take the arms lifting. I'm going to come into a side stretch. So you're going to root down with the feet, take a side bend, stretch towards the right side. And then inhaling, coming back to the centre. As you breathe out, over towards the left side. And inhale, come back. Take your arms a little bit wider, and you can have that visualisation, that one that you was holding a beach ball. Just pause for a moment. Inhale, and as you breathe out, sides bend, stretch towards the right side. And then inhaling, coming back to the centre. As you breathe out, over towards that left side. And then coming all the way back to the centre. You can bring your palms together, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, try to feel that you're standing even taller as you guide your hands all the way back down towards your chest. letting the arms release down by the sides of the body. We're going to grab our belt again from here. I'm going to take a forward fold with, we sometimes, take our hands into lots, but today you're going to use your belt just so you can create as much openness in the shoulder as you can. So one bit of the belt in each hand. And you can take them just a little way apart from here. And you can judge, again, how far you need to do that. You can take your feet hip distance apart. And maybe just for a moment, let your hands move away from the body if that felt okay. And then soften your shoulders. Going to slowly, just mind the belt don't hit you, slowly allowing yourself to come forward from here. And just soften your knees more so that you can fold the body over the legs. Nice heavy head from here. Just a couple of breaths, feeling, opening up into your shoulders. Feel grounded still, feel grounded with the breath. And then slowly root down with the feet, let yourself come all the way back up from here. Slowly release your belt. That's it. And then you're going to come to the front of your mat. We're going to step back with your right foot from here. So into a nice warrior position. So rooting down with that back foot. And I always say, if you find this uncomfortable on the hips, move your feet more to that lengthened side of your mat. And you're going to lift up the arms. You're going to take a moment to reach the arms out. You can sink a little bit lower with your position. It works. You're going to cactus the arms. Take a moment to lift your chest. Letting the arms come down. You're going to interlock the fingers. If you want to use your belt, you can use your belt. And rolling your shoulders back from here. Take a moment to pulse. And then we'll come into our humble warrior position. So feel rooted and going as far as works for you. Some of us might come onto the inside bit of the leg. We might be able to lift the arms over a bit more, or they might stay on the lower back from here. Stay rooted with the feet. And then keep rooting down with the feet so we feel grounded, lifting all the way up from here. Releasing the hands on the hips. And we'll step that foot in from here. Take a few breaths just to pause, arms down by the sides of the body. And then taking it to the left leg, so we'll step back with the left leg. Making our way into warrior one, which one I always really do like warriors. And you're going to bend into the leg, make sure your alignment's okay, so the knee's not moving in, the knee's not moving out, it's over that centre of that foot, navel draws in. You can take the arms again and lifting up the arms, getting a nice stretch. You can either stay here or taking the arms, cactusing them, sending your chest and your heart through. Releasing your hands, interlocking your fingers gently, rolling back your shoulders. You can pause there. We can either hold it here if that's working for you, or stay connected to both feet. Don't forget the back foot as well. Keep rooting down with that little side toe. And come forward. It might just be a little way, or you might come more onto the inside bit of that leg. Head nice and heavy. Keep breathing. And then root down with the feet. Start to slowly lift up. Come all the way back up. Nice open heart. Release your feet. Hands on the hips. And stepping your back foot into the front. Just for a moment, you can do a few hip circles, which is always nice after that warrior position. And then hip circling the other way. And then coming back to centre. We're going to take a balance from here. So we're going to do a tree balance, and we're going to add a Garudasana, eagle arms in this one. So we'll do the leg first of all. So hands on the hips. So we'll do the right foot. So you're lifting and you're turning out that foot and finding your preferred tree position, either heeling or lifting the foot higher or those of you that can, you can take the ankle, moving it onto the inside of that thigh. And this might be enough for us, just holding it here. We might take the first position, lifting the arms, reaching up, bringing the palms together. This is a great one to open up your chest and the heart. I'm going to move it back into cactus arms from here. You're going to lift the arms out in front, and you're going to cross the left arm underneath your right one. And you can either wrap the arms from here or move them more, take back of the hands or even your palms together. And then while you're here, you're going to take your focus into the back of the body. So where your shoulder blades are, just feel as if you was just creating space in that area. Just a couple really nice breaths. This is great if you do have tension in your upper back. And then releasing. I know we're in the balance for quite a while, but it's good. And the arms lift them up one more time. Inhale. As you breathe out, slowly releasing down. Hands on your hips and foot back to the floor. Take a few breaths from here. Separate your feet. Before we do the other sides, just come forward. We'll take a dangle forward fold. So hold on to opposite elbows and take a moment just to gently sway from side to side. And then come back to the centre, hands on the hips, lifting up, coming all the way up. So balances are great as well. So it really will bring you into the moment, the balance with the focus, with the posture and the breath. So this time it's going to be a left foot. It's going to turn out into Vipassana tree pose. Take your time finding that position that works for you. Don't worry if you come out, just come back into it, no problem at all. Keep breathing as if you're looking beyond the horizon. You can lift the arms up, either V shape or to get that extra stretch. You can bring your hands together, breathe into your chest and the heart. We can take out cactus arms from here. So think about even sending your chest and your heart through, even more, shoulders moving back and down. Then we'll take the arms out. It's going to be the opposite one. So it's going to be your right arm. It's going to cross underneath your left arm. And you might wrap the arms, or you might take the back of the hands, finding your version of eagle arms. And you're going to stand up nice and straight still, and you're going to think about your shoulder blades. So just see if you can really take some focus, as if you're just breathing into those places where your shoulder blades and the upper back is. Feeling that any tension that you may have accumulated over the last week or so, this is helping just to stretch out into those places. And then slowly release. You can send the arms out. We're going to lift up the arms again from here. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, focus breath to guide our hands back. Hands on the hips, release the foot and take that foot down to the floor. Separate the legs, give a few of those hips circling again, just to ease out any tightness around your hips. And then circling the other way. We're going to move down to the floor. So hands on the hip creases, folding forward. We'll take one of those half forward folds lifts. So let the hands come to the shins. And as you inhale, lifting up your head and the chest. And exhale, slowly fold forward. Few breaths. Let crown of the head be nice and heavy. And then bending our legs so we can come back down to the floor. And we're going to roll down to the floor. So grab anything warm that you have. Legs on the floor. You're going to bring the arms out in front of you. Just going to add a little bit of core. So just either come down if you've got any issues in your back or your abdominal issues, just roll down. But if it works, you can just come back a little way. Draw the navel in. Keep reaching forward with your fingers. You might do it again, another little bit as you draw the navel in. And last one, maybe one more, draw the navel in. And then rolling all the way back down. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Just take a moment to ease out the head again. Breathe in as you breathe out. Head to the right. And then breathing in back to the centre. As you breathe out, head towards the left. As you breathe in, coming back. Releasing the feet, just let them wide, be as wide as your mat from here. Last couple of twists, just cactus the arms. Breathe in as you breathe out, knees to the right, head to the left. Breathing into the centre. Breathing out, head to the right, knees to the left. One more each side, come back to the centre, inhale. As you breathe out, knees to the right, head to the left. Breathing in to the centre. Last time, knees to the left, head to the right. And then bring yourself all the way back. Make yourself comfortable, arms down by the sides of the body. And cover yourself up or support under the head. And you can either keep your legs bent for some extra support for the back, or you can stretch the legs. Maybe if you're doing that, just stretching one leg away from you and the other leg away from you. Maybe taking them as wide as your mat or rough about there. And today, if you can, arms down by the sides of the body, because we want to relax into the shoulders. Move them away from the body and then turning the palms as if they were just kind of half facing up towards the sky. Take a moment just to adjust the head so back of the head feels weighted and supported. Neck is nice and long. And we're going to just stay here for a few minutes. So just being still if that works. If you need to move, you can move. And begin to just find a calmness, a softness to your breath. Without changing it, just be aware of it. Let the focus feel here. With every inhale, feel that you're inviting more peace into your life. And with every exhale, feel that fully surrendering of the body, letting go. Every inhale, just feeling that gentle space in the body that you've created. And with every exhale, let go of any tension, any tightness that you may have in the body or the mind. Just be quiet for the next few moments. And if you want to stay longer, then have as much time as you need for the body to rest. If you're ready to start to move, take a few fuller breaths now, initiating that the body is going to start moving soon with the breath. And then give the fingers a wriggle, give the toes a wriggle, maybe turning the head again to the right side. Move the head back Turning the head towards that left side. Move it back. Take one more stretch. Take the arms behind you. Spread the toes. Have a good stretch. Notice how the body feels now after all those nice poses. And then bend the legs. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Rocking for a moment from side to side. Let yourself roll over to the right side. Maybe supporting your arm. Extend it out. Right arm along to the left hand just in front of you. Just pause for a moment. And then nice and mindfully let yourself come all the way up into a comfortable seated pose. And take a moment just to sit up nice and tall. Take an awareness into your posture and maybe how you might feel a little bit more open now. You might feel your chest and the heart have got more space here, more space as well to work with a nice calm breath for the rest of your day. Take your arms down by the sides of the body, and as you breathe in, bring the arms up and above the head, and as you breathe out, open them again, bring them down by the sides of the body. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up the arms above the head, palms together. Breathing out, arms down by the sides of the body. One more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Let them move back into palms together. Bringing the hands in towards the heart centre. Pressing thumbs gently in towards the sternum. Shoulders moving back and down, and then slowly letting our head bow down towards the hands. Pause here for a moment, just connecting with this focus, this calmness, this peace that you've created in the practice today. Let it move into the rest of the day with you. Let the eyes slowly open, just taking the gaze slightly forward. And then allow the eyes to lift, come back to the centre. Namaste. I hope that you enjoyed that and let that calmness move into the rest of your day.